Claire's going to go.
Oh, I've got officers fighting a bit. Oh, I've got officers fighting a bit. And this doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. Thank you very much, Claire. Right, so our next item is the Low-Income Families Tracker. The purpose is to brief members and provide an update. Councillor Claire Bloomer will be giving this, but in her absence I'm going to present, and Councillor Paul Hodgkinson is going to second. Supporting our communities is a key part of the Liberal Democrat mission for our district, as set out in our council plan, our Cotswolds, our plan. As a council, we are fundamentally committed to protecting those who need it most, those who are struggling with financial hardship, especially in times of crisis, like it feels like we've lived through over the past few years. Let's be clear. The financial situation many residents, families and older people find themselves in is really tough. And as a council, we say this evening that we hear you and we're acting to try and make things easier for you. This evening, on behalf of Councillor Bloomer, I introduce a vital initiative for our district, the Low Income Family Tracker, or LIFT. Thank you, Claire. A project designed to better understand and support the most vulnerable people in our communities. LIFT is an initiative that will help us on the journey to ending poverty in our district. The initiative reflects our core values: social justice, fairness, and supporting the most vulnerable people in our society. By using data more effectively, we can target support in ways that directly help families at risk of falling through the cracks. Whether it's identifying people who are not claiming the benefits they are entitled to, or finding hidden pockets of poverty, the LIFT system will give us the tools to make a real difference in the lives of those who need the help the most. So how does LIFT work? It's a platform developed by a company called Policy and Practice, which aggregates data from various sources, including council tax support, universal credit claims, housing benefits, and other publicly available data sets. This data is then analysed and segmented to create a comprehensive picture of the financial situation of households across our district. The system can identify who is at risk of financial hardship, track changes in their circumstances, and highlight areas where support is lacking. For example, the LIFT scheme allows us to pinpoint families who may be entitled to benefits like pension credits, attendance allowance, or free school meals but are not claiming them. It can also track households that could benefit from additional support, such as Healthy Start or targeted campaigns to encourage benefit take-up. By segmenting the data by specific household types and locations, we can ensure that our support is targeted at those who need it most, whether that's families with young children, elderly residents, or the working poor. This is more crucial than ever as we face an ongoing cost of living crisis, which has been exacerbated by government policies. The previous Conservative government's decision to introduce the two-child limit for benefits has only deepened child poverty across the country, and the current government's decision to retain this is shameful. This policy, which prevents families from claiming support for more than 2 children, not only penalises children for circumstances beyond their control, but also compounds the financial hardship for the most vulnerable. And at the same time, the present Labour government's decision to cut the winter fuel allowance, a critical support for older people struggling with heating costs during the colder months, has left many in our community facing even greater financial uncertainty. These policies are a clear reflection of governments that fail to protect those most in need, instead of providing support when families need it the most. This is where we, as a Liberal Democrat-led council, can step in and we can make a tangible difference. We are dedicated to ensuring that no one is left behind. The LIFT project will help us identify those who need the support the most, whether it's through maximising benefits uptake, offering help with food costs, or providing access to essential services like free school meals. It's about tackling poverty head-on and making sure that the support we offer is reaching those who need it most. The LIFT system will not only help us understand the needs of our most vulnerable residents, but it will allow us to tailor our efforts to provide timely and targeted assistance. From increasing the take-up of pension credits to ensuring families with children are accessing free school meals, the data will empower us to provide the right kind of help to the right people at the right time. The system also enables us to track and follow up with households over time, identifying any changes in their circumstances and adapting our support as needed. We will also be able to partner more effectively with local voluntary organisations and community groups to strengthen the support network in our district. By working together, we can ensure that the most vulnerable members of our community are getting the help they need when they need it. This initiative is a perfect example of our commitment as a council, not only to speak up for those in need, but to take meaningful action to address the real challenges families are facing in the Cotswolds. By embracing new technology, we are staying true to our values of social responsibility, fairness and compassion. Together, we are making a real difference, and we are showing that the Cotswold District is a place where no one is left behind. And Cabinet, I commend this to you. Hand over now to Paul, who will second this.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I'm sort of speaking on behalf of Claire Bloomer. Obviously, Councillor Bloomer feels very passionately about this subject. I know she does. And she's very sorry she can't be with us today to personally deliver this speech, which she's asked me to read on her behalf. So I will do it in my own style, not necessarily in the style of Claire Bloomer. But to use her words, the Low Income Family Tracker, or LIFT, is a transformative tool designed to support residents facing financial challenges, especially during the ongoing cost of living crisis. Now, Cotswold District is proud to be among the first councils in the country to adopt this innovative approach, which Joe has mentioned. By analysing anonymised data, LIFT does help us identify households at risk of financial hardship, and it enables early targeted intervention before problems escalate. Now, this proactive approach is particularly important as the cost of living continues to affect our communities. The investment in LIFT does come at a cost to the district, but it's comparable to what we currently spend on emergency accommodation for residents facing housing crises. By using LIFT, what we aim to do is reduce the need for such emergency measures and giving people a better chance to stabilise their finances and their lives. Another major benefit is that LIFT highlights specific areas down to individual council wards where financial pressures are most acute. That means we can allocate resources more effectively, focusing support where it's most needed. And in the long run, this data-driven approach will save money by preventing issues such as homelessness and reducing the strain on other council services. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of Claire to thank the staff who've been working diligently on this over the past few months, as well as everyone else involved in bringing LIFT to fruition. We recognise that this may stretch officers' workloads in the short term, but their dedication and hard work are ensuring we do implement a system that will have lasting benefits for our residents. For those we serve, LIFT offers life-changing support, whether it's connecting residents to benefits they're entitled to, offering debt advice, linking them to employment services. This tool does empower individuals and families to navigate the challenges of rising costs, maintain their homes and improve their quality of life. Finally, and ultimately, LIFT is about smarter spending and better outcomes. Being among the first councils to implement this does demonstrate the Cotswolds' commitment to leading the way in innovative solutions for our community. By investing now, we save in the long term and we strengthen the fabric of our communities. So on that basis, I have great pleasure in seconding this on behalf of Claire.
Thank you, Paul. I think we're in danger of all violently agreeing on this, so I'll just say, are there any questions or comments from Mike?
Obviously, I naturally support it. I just wanted to add one thing that that in addition helps residents that we do, which is sort of related, given that clearly residents often struggle with their energy costs, their bills for heating their homes, particularly those in most needs, and we have the Warm and Well programme that we support that helps those residents who often are the same ones that can qualify for support under LIFT, and they can get potentially tens of thousands of pounds to improve their home energy efficiency, which also has the side effect of my area of helping cut carbon emissions greatly. So I think that they're very complementary, so I'm delighted to see this coming on board, and I'm sure our excellent new home energy efficiency officer, Justine, will be able to work with the LIFT team to make sure that residents benefit from that as well.
Okay, Mike.
Thank you, Chair. Just wanted obviously to support this work. I know it's been a lot of work being done by officers together with Claire over the many months, I think, to get to us here. but it's great that we're going to proceed with this project. Also to note, obviously, I'm pleased that they've worked very hard and they've found someone else to pay for it, at least in the short term. So, you know, thank you. And that's obviously referred to in the financial implications, that the first year's licences will be met by essentially the NHS. Obviously, the benefit of people having the benefits that they're entitled to is that, you know, hopefully their lives will be healthier as a result. They'll be able to eat healthier and lead healthier lives, and therefore obviously the benefit to them, but also collectively to everyone in terms of their hopefully less need for support through the NHS. So yeah, I'm absolutely very happy to support this.
Thank you, Mike. Okay then, so we've got a proposition and a seconder. So just a reminder of the recommendations. We're noting the report and we're noting the external funding for the project, but approved to underwrite the cost of the lift licences and any associated costs estimated at £33,000. If we can go to the vote then, please. Lovely, that is unanimous. Thank you, colleagues. Okay, then we move on now to our next item, which is the